In this video, I'm going to be talking about how to look more attractive than 90% of men. Because I'm telling you, if you implement everything that I talk about in this video, you will be a lot more attractive than 90% of men, because most men are lazy. Most men are unambitious. Most men think that it's feminine to take care of themselves. Most men can't stay consistent with any routines. Like, I'm telling you, the competition is slim to none, and you can be that more attractive man, even if you're not 6 foot plus or look like a male model. So with that being said, make sure that you stay throughout the entire video. That way, you know exactly what you need to do step by step to look more attractive than 90% of men. So the first thing that you want to do, this is going to help the majority of men, is that you want to lean down and get chiseled. That way your face and your physique are a lot leaner. They're going to look a lot more angular. You're going to look a lot bigger from a muscle mass and proportion perspective. You're just going to look a lot more attractive. And the way to do this, especially if you are someone that has stubborn body fat that you need to lose, you have higher levels of body fat, that you need to be in a calorie deficit. And that's just basically when you burn more calories than your body consumes. And I always suggest to men to be in around a 400 calorie deficit to start out. And then depending on how much fat they're dropping or how little fat they're dropping, then adjust from there. But I would start out with anywhere from 400 to 500 calories in terms of a calorie deficit. And make sure that you're tracking your calories consistently. This is the key, that you track your calories and you do this consistently, because most men don't track their calories. They don't track their calories, so they may think that they're losing body fat because they are in a calorie deficit, but they're actually not in a calorie deficit because they're over consuming on food. They're actually in a calorie surplus, if anything. So definitely make sure that you are tracking your calories. And the app that I use is called MyFitnessPal. I've been using this since 2018 when I first went on a lean bulk. And it doesn't matter if you're cutting, it doesn't matter if you're maintaining, it doesn't matter if you're adding on size to your frame. Either way, you want to be tracking your calories. That way, you know that you're actually making progress towards your fitness goal. And in this case, you're actually in a calorie deficit and you're dropping body fat. So definitely make sure that you are in a calorie deficit, that you're leaning down. That way, facially and physique wise, you're going to look a lot more chiseled, a lot more angular, and overall more aesthetic. Which leads me into the second point, is that you want to follow a fitness routine that is sustainable, but more specifically is engineered to build that masculine and aesthetic V-shaped physique. So the broad shoulders, wide back, slim waist, six-pack abs, built upper chest, proportionate strong arms, and proportionate strong and sleek legs. This is going to be the type of physique that women are going to go crazy for. This physique is going to make you more attractive. You're going to look a lot more strong, more aesthetic, proportionate, capable. Overall, you're just going to look a lot more healthy and attractive. And that's just because this type of physique really signals higher quality genetics and cues that you are a healthy, strong man. And you don't have to be born with male model looks. You don't have to be 6 foot plus height or anything like that to build this type of physique. You just have to know how to build this up in a strategic way and follow a program that's going to allow you to achieve this type of physique. Because the V-shaped physique for women is the equivalent of how we view the hourglass physique on women, right? Women are going to go crazy for that man that has a V-shaped physique. And you're also going to see that you're going to look a lot better in clothes too. Like, clothes are actually meant for the V-shaped physique. Like, the more of a proportionate aesthetic masculine V-shaped physique that you have, the better that you're going to look in clothes. So definitely make sure that you're following a program that's going to help you build this type of physique. What you want to do is that once you find that program that's sustainable, that's going to allow you to be consistently in the gym and not fall off, not get burnt out, make sure that you're tracking your lifts. I use the app called Strong. This is what I've been using for years as well. And when you're tracking your lifts, similar to how I was talking about tracking your calories, this is how you're going to know that you're actually making progress towards building this physique. By tracking your lifts, you're going to see that you're progressing on your lifts, that you're hitting PRs, or you're going to see which lifts that you need to really focus on building up. That way that you know that you're making progress, because as you get stronger, you're going to see that you're going to be building more dense, proportionate, and overall quality muscle mass, which is going to help you sculpt that V-shaped physique. And then moving on to the third way to look more attractive than 90% of men, that is that you want to have a daily and nightly skincare routine to make your skin look a lot clean, be clear, and look youthful, as well as age gracefully. So let's go ahead. Let's start with the daily skincare routine. So you want to make sure that you're using a daily gentle facial cleanser that's going to help get rid of dirts and oils and just even bacteria on your face that can build up, cause acne, breakouts, and just make your skin just not that attractive. And you're going to use the cleanser in the morning and at night. And then you want to be using a vitamin C oil. And this is just going to make your skin look a lot more vibrant. It's going to make it look a lot more healthy, more youthful, and give you a nice glow. And then you want to use an SPF, which is going to help help you protect your skin from sun damage. By using an SPF and using SPF consistently, this is how you're going to be able to slow down the process of your skin aging, which is going to allow you to age gracefully and look more young, more attractive than people your age as you get older into your later 20s, early 30s, mid 30s, late 30s, 40s, and so on. Then you want to have a moisturizer that's going to hydrate your skin and not make it look old or wrinkly and just dull and stuff like that. It's just going to make it look hydrated and also make it look youthful and just make it look more clear and attractive overall. So then that's going to be the daily skincare routine. And then moving on to the nightly skincare routine. And it's going to be very similar to the daily skincare routine, but you're going to use the facial cleanser to get rid of any dirt, oils, and bacteria that you may have accumulated on your face throughout the day. You're going to get rid of all that stuff by cleaning your face with the cleanser. But then you're going to want to use a retinol 2 to 3 times a week. So retinol is just basically going to help smooth out your fine lines and wrinkles and also help you age gracefully. This is going to really help preserve more of the youthful look to your skin, especially like the younger you are, the faster you want to get on retinol because you're going to be able to preserve your skin for a lot longer periods of time and age gracefully. I use retinol 3 times a week and it really just helps smooth out fine lines and wrinkles, as I said. So definitely make sure that you're using a retinol in your skincare routine at night. And like I said, just use this 2 to 3 times a week. You don't need to use this every single night. And then you want to have a moisturizer as well, just to finish everything off to hydrate your skin. And literally your skin is going to look a lot more attractive. And most men don't have a skincare routine. They're not consistent with it. And then they don't know the specific products as well as the purpose of these specific products and how it actually helps your face look more attractive overall and actually take care of your skin and make you age more gracefully. Again, guys don't know these micro steps. Like all these different steps I'm giving you in this video are all micro steps, but when you stack them on top of each other, they're all going to compound and make the biggest difference. And by having a skincare routine and implementing these micro tweaks, bro, I'm telling you, you're going to look a lot more attractive than 90% of men. Because again, most guys don't have a skincare routine, right? And women are going to take notice of this. Women are going to know when you have a skincare routine, and women love men that take care of themselves. So I'm telling you, make sure that you're implementing this daily and nightly skincare routine because you're going to look a lot more attractive than the majority of men, because most men aren't even doing this. And if you're tired of not sending out to women, if you're tired of not attracting more women to you, but instead you want to become more of that handsome, attractive, rare, and desirable man, then I would highly suggest that you check out the free training that I made for you specifically. I'll have a link down below in the description and the pinned comment. Watch it after this video because I literally break down step by step how I was able to improve my looks and become more attractive, be able to stand out to women and attract women to me. But I've also been able to help other men that felt invisible. They felt like they were average. They struggled attracting women to them. They were skinny fat, they were overweight, they were obese. They weren't even 6 foot plus height. A lot of guys I've worked with and helped, they were like 5'6", 5'7", 5'8", 5'9". Check out that free training that I made for you, link down below in the description and the pinned comment. And then moving on to the fourth way that you can look more attractive than 90% of men is that you want to find a good haircut and a good hairstyle that suits your head and your face shape. Because here's the thing, not every hairstyle or haircut is going to look equally attractive for every single man, right? Every man, depending on his head shape and his face shape, different hairstyles and cuts are going to look different on different men depending on their face and their head shape. So for the sake of the video, what I would suggest that you do is research different head shapes and face shapes. And then once you find the head shape and the face shape that you have, what I would then suggest is that you look up hairstyles and haircuts for that specific head shape and face shape, but for your specific phenotype, like your race. For example, for me, I'm mixed and I have more of a mix of a heart-shaped head and like a diamond-shaped face, right? So like a heart and a diamond-shaped face. So then what I would do is that I would go online and I would look up haircuts for mixed men with heart diamond-shaped faces. And then I would see what results pop up. And then whatever haircut or hairstyle that I like, I would roll with that. And then if you're a man that's bald watching this, then you definitely want to do every single point that I've talked about up until this point of the video. And then the other different points that I'm going to be talking about in this video as well. But typically, like when you're more lean and aesthetic, even if you're bald, you're still going to look attractive, but you have to do other things to make up for the lack of not having hair. You have to do other different things are going to make you more attractive that we'll talk about moving forward. So then moving on to the fifth point, man, is that you just want to make sure that you're staying groomed at all times. So if you have facial hair, if you have a beard, then you definitely want to make sure that you're lining it up, that you're trimming it at least 2 to 3 times a week, depending on how fast your hair grows. And just make sure that you're constantly staying on top of it. That's not getting too long. It's not getting too bushy. It just doesn't look unkept, because I believe that men that just have these big bushy beards or just patchy facial hair, it's like they just look dirty. They don't look clean. And when it it comes to women, like, of course, they don't look that attractive, but they just also look immature. They also look like they don't know what they're doing. They don't just come off like men that are confident in the sense of really putting an effort to being more attractive and really portraying themselves as a more attractive and valuable man. Because the more attractive you are, the more women are going to project confidence onto you. And part of that is because you see value in yourself as far as taking care of yourself and valuing your appearance. So as you take care of yourself, women aren't only going to think that you're more attractive, but they're also going to think that you're more confident. And that really starts with your appearance, of course, but staying on top of your appearance, making sure that you're well groomed, making sure that you have no nose hairs sticking out, that you're cleaning up your eyebrows, don't have a bushy unibrow growing in the middle. Try to clean up your eyebrows if you can. You don't have to get them threaded like a woman, but whenever you go to the barber, just ask them like, hey man, do you mind if you can just clean up and edge up my eyebrows without framing them too much? And they'll do it. It just makes them look a lot more clean and more presentable. As well as if you have crazy body hair, man, like on the back of your neck and you got hair sticking out and it's sticking out your shirt, man, like that's nasty, bro. Like you just look unattractive. If you are that type of man where you just naturally have a lot of back hair, that's in your genetics. You can't control that, but you can control how you maintain that. And I would just suggest that you trim it down or get rid of it. Just make sure that you're staying on top of your overall grooming. Any body hair, excess body hair that you have, make sure that you take care of it. Like women do like men that have chest hair, but you want to make sure that you actually have a strong, well-developed chest if you're going to have chest hair. Otherwise, it just looks unattractive. So just make sure that you're staying on top of your grooming. That way you always look clean, you always look presentable, you always look attractive, and you look a lot more mature. You look like you value yourself, which is going to project more self-worth and confidence without you having to say anything. And women are not only going to think that you're more attractive, people are going to think that you're more attractive in general, but more of a confident man. And that's also going to play a role in how you think of yourself. And you're going to see as the more attractive that you are, the better you're going to feel. And the better you feel, the better that you're going to do. And then moving on to the next point, man, is that you just want to wear clothes that are slim fit, that accentuate your physique, that make you look well put together, that make you look intentional. That's one of the things that women have complimented me on when it comes to my fashion is that I'm very intentional. And by being very intentional, that means that you know what works. And if you know what works, it's because you've received positive feedback for what works in terms of how you present yourself more from a fashion standpoint, which that will communicate social proof that you've had other people tell you that you look good or that you've received positive reinforcement for you looking good from a fashion perspective. And this is all like subconscious. These are things that people can pick up on without you having to say a damn word. So definitely make sure that you're wearing clothes that are well fitted, that really showcase your physique, that highlight your physique, that make you look proportionate. Especially if you're wearing more slim fit shirts, jeans, and pants, you're going to look a lot more tall. Even if you're under 6 foot, you're going to look a lot taller. And I would also suggest that you look into undertones. So undertones are more so going to be the color of your veins under your skin. And depending on the type of vein color that you have, that's going to be your undertone. So there's like more neutral undertones, warmer undertones, cooler undertones. So I have more warmer undertones. So that's going to be like a bluish greenish vein color. And depending on your undertones, there are going to be different colors of different clothing that you can wear that's going to make your skin pop and make it look a lot better. So I like to wear more neutral colors like black, white, and gray for a simplicity standpoint. But colors, let's say, for example, that's going to really stand out for me is going to be like a more maroonish red or like a off-white creamy look. That's going to really contrast my skin color, but it's going to make me stand out as well. There's a lot of different colors that are going to be complementary to your skin tone based on what your specific undertone is. So make sure that you look up what your undertone is and then see what are the colors that look best for that specific undertone. And then you can wear those different colors that are going to be complementary to your skin tone, but you're also wearing slim fit clothing overall that's going to make you look masculine, more mature, be able to stand out from a physique standpoint without having to really showcase your physique off by being shirtless. It's like a subtle flex and you're going to look a lot more intentional, which as I broke down earlier, that's really going to signal social proof. Women are going to know that other women find you attractive, especially if you're well put together and you're wearing clothes that really fit your body, especially when you have that V-shaped physique and you're lean and you're aesthetic. Like women are going to believe that not only are you attractive, but other women find you desirable and attractive as well. That's pre-selection in a nutshell. And that's going to raise their attraction for you even more. And I'm telling you, most men aren't doing this. Most men don't have the physique that will then make slim fit clothing clothing look good on them. They don't really know much about undertones. They don't really know much about the colors that make their specific skin color actually pop and look good. Like, most men aren't doing this. So again, you're just stacking more advantages that are going to make you look a lot more attractive than 90% of men. Then moving on to the last point, man, is that you want to make sure that you clean up your diet. You want to make sure that if you're drinking, you're minimizing your alcohol consumption. If not, I would just get rid of drinking, bro. Drinking is going to make it a lot harder to actually lose body fat if you're trying to be in a calorie deficit. It's going to, over time, lower your testosterone levels and skyrocket your estrogen. You're going to be looking a lot more bloated, more puffy, more inflamed. It's just, there's no ROI on drinking alcohol. I would completely get rid of it if you can. If not, at least minimize your alcohol consumption. And then I would suggest that you lower your carb and your sugar intake, because especially if you're eating a lot of carbs, you're going to be bloated. Your face is going to be puffy. Your physique is going to be puffy. That's how you're not going to be looking lean, chiseled, and aesthetic facially and physique wise. But definitely sugar, I would highly suggest that you drastically reduce your sugar. I haven't completely cut sugar out of my diet, at least not yet, but I've drastically reduced my carb and my sugar intake, because the thing with sugars in particular is that if you consume too much sugar, there's going to be a process that happens called glycation, which is when sugar is going to bind to your collagen and it's going to break down the collagen in your skin. So that's how you're going to have more wrinkles. That's how you're going to have more fine lines. That's how your skin is going to not be as elastic. It's not going to look as smooth, as vibrant, as hydrated. You're not going to have that youthful, clear glow to you if you're consuming a lot of sugar. So if anything, try to just reduce your carb intake, your sugar intake, and if you can, try to reduce your alcohol intake as well, because by doing this, you're going to be a lot leaner. You're going to be a lot more chiseled. You're going to look a lot more youthful. You're going to age gracefully, especially with your skin. Your skin's going to be healthier. It's going to have more elasticity to it. It's going to glow. It's just going to look a lot more healthy and more vibrant and just overall more youthful. And this is how you're going to be able to be a lot more attractive. And it's going to be a lot easier, especially if you have to lean down. You're not going to be over consuming on calories, which is going to make it easier for you to lean down, as well as drinking a lot of alcohol. A lot of people, when they go out, they'll have 3, 5, sometimes even 10 drinks, which is crazy, but that's a lot of calories that you're consuming. That's going to make it hard for you to drop body fat. So if you drastically reduce your alcohol consumption, your carbs, and your sugar, overall, you're just going to look a lot more attractive, more lean, and more chiseled. And if you want more help when it comes to being more attractive, staying out compared to 90% of men, and being more attractive to women, and even attracting more women to you without being 6' tall or looking like a male model, then I would highly suggest, again, that you check out that free training that I made for you. I'm telling you, you're going to get a lot of value from it. You're going to be able to improve your looks. You're going to be able to become more attractive and attract women to you. I'm telling you, so many men have been getting so much value from the free training. I've literally put in like almost a year of time into building this free training. It's freaking amazing. So many guys are getting a lot of results with it. I've been able to help so many guys that were skinny, fat, overweight, obese, guys that were under 6 foot tall. They're 5'6", 5'7", 5'8", 5'9", guys that still lived at home with their parents. I've worked with so many different guys that were overlooked, guys that were rejected before, guys that were left by ex-girlfriends and wives. Like, I've helped so many guys be able to become the most attractive version of themselves and be able to attract women to them and stand out compared to 90% of men, no exaggerations. So definitely check out that free training after this video if you want to become more attractive, stand out from 90% of men, and be able to actually attract more women to you and have a more thriving and abundant dating life. With that being said, I hope you got a lot of value from this video, and I'll talk to you in the next one.